Because it says that I'm a co-host, so I should be able to see it.
Yes.
Say admit all, Jen, or is he doing that?
I don't think we want to admit all though, because I should be able to see him in the waiting room, and I can't.
And so, you know, we are streaming live on YouTube, just in case you didn't know.
Oh.
But this is, so we are officially like a courtroom right now.
Do I need to press admit all? Will that do it?
I can press admit all. Sometimes people don't always like that, and it can be a little distracting. But at the same time, maybe we're better off, and maybe I'll just have to ask people, since I'm not sure anybody's.
You can mute them.
Okay, I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
We may have to wait for some folks to re-identify themselves so we can see what they're doing.
Okay, so we have 09F 403.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
That's good.
Please press mute until, because we do need 25 people talk. We're not going to get much done.
Hit mute. Okay, sorry.
What are you looking for?
BAUZYT.
Well, here it is, 180722.
And then we have 20F80. 96F899. Are you ready for me to start, Your Honor?
Please.
Okay. 19F117, Islas Cristobal versus Hernandez Galvez. Ismael Hernandez Galvez.
And Mr. Hernandez is present. I can see him. Good morning, Mr. Hernandez.
Good morning.
This is up on the state's petition to register a foreign order out of the state of California for $564 a month and $634 per month in spousal support. So the state is asking just to register that today.
Okay. And Mr. Hernandez, the prosecution is simply registering an order that's already in place from another state, in this case, California. The order hasn't changed at all. It just is allowing this court to do what California was doing. That's all. Okay?
Just one question. Is there understand somebody to speak Spanish? Because I don't understand too much English.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, we will ask for an interpreter to come in. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. 01D1125, Michelle Smith and Michael Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is
no, go on.
This is up for status of purge and status of state contempt sentence. He has a $10,000 purge. He was actually in the Lake County Jail work release program. But then when the pandemic hit, the sentence was stayed and he was released. He is paying. He's been making regular payments. So the state is not going to ask to lift the stay. I would just ask to continue it over to September 24th at 9 o'clock for status of purge and status of state contempt sentence. And hopefully the payments will keep coming in as they have been.
And you're asking for what date again, please?
September 24th.
Okay. September 24th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
You folks are, Michael and Michelle Smith, you're welcome to click leave meeting or end.
Okay. All right, thanks,
Thank
Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. And folks, here's a general announcement, just like what the clerk wrote. If you haven't identified yourself on your iPhone or computer, please do that. If it says iPhone, I don't know who you are. And we probably don't know who you are. A couple folks have something like iPhone or a Moto or something else, or maybe it's even a nickname, which we need to know your name. And in our case, it's going to be named as listed on the document. Okay. So thank you.
And I believe Mr. Williams is here on 02F957 FAF versus Strobot.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Ms. Williams.
This
Judge,
is up on,
right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, that's okay. This is up on council's petition to terminate child support. Child support was set to terminate May 31st of 2020. I'm assuming the child did graduate from high school. Do you have the verification of that?
No, but that's what Jeff was saying. The child graduated right around June 1st or something. Child lives in Wisconsin.
Okay, and it looks like the support order terminated as of May 31st. And we haven't gotten anything from the state to extend that. So we'll go ahead and terminate as of May 31st. There's no arrears. So we'll go ahead and withdraw the support orders and withhold orders.
Okay.
Will you prepare that order? Or do you want me to email an order in council?
We'll do it.
I appreciate that.
Okay, then
You should have my email to send the file stamp copy of that order to.
Okay, is it on your appearance?
It's on my notice and motion.
Okay,
So if you've got that in the file, do you have that in the file?
I know it's at the bottom of the motion to terminate, in the notice of motion too.
So if that's good, then
it's on there.
Okay, I'll let you all get to the next case. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Motion granted.
See you later. Bye.
That's waiting for an interpreter, yeah. Thank you. Okay.
And folks, again, if you haven't renamed yourself, please do. If you're on the phone, also, if you're just listed as a phone number, we really don't know what case to call. And I know, please make sure you're labeled appropriately, putting your own name and not just a nickname or something like that.
20F80 Calhoun versus Calhoun.
I think you're right. Hello, Ms. Calhoun and Mr. Calhoun.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is up on a continued hearing complaint for support. He had requested a continuance because he claims that the children live with him. And so the Mrs. Calhoun was ordered to be present today. I don't believe there's a parenting order. So that's why we ordered her to be present.
Okay.
I requested for the case to be dropped because we were co-parenting and that's what I had wanted. Because the kids are on my lease and they and they go to school down and everything. From my address, I get them to school and on and off the bus. I have them, and she has them as well.
Mr. Calhoun, you said some different things legally. I don't care who's on whose lease. I want to know where the kids are living.
With me. They live with me. I have them all the time. I take care of everything. Yes, when they are in school, they go to school from there. I go to work, they go to school from there. I pick them up at the end of the day from school, but they solely live with me.
Where
at
do
my
they
house.
sleep?
With me. They're here now
Some of
with
it,
me.
yes, because I was working.
Well,
They sleep at my home as well, Monday through Friday. But since it's pandemic and I've been working, she's had them more.
No, they come with you when you feel like being bothered with them.
No, that's not. I have them Monday through Friday. Why wouldn't I?
No,
Why-
folks, let's keep this constructive. I'm not going to, the court's trying to address the straightforward complaint in the motion, the complaint for support. And if the children are living, and as the assistant state's attorney properly asked, sleeping in a home, most of the time, and if they're not sleeping in a home, more than 150 nights, then that's not where they're living. I realize and certainly on a regular basis, we see orders. I'll just give a simple example where it's at dad's home on weekends or alternating weekends or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which I see all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not sleeping with, even though, of course, that child is or children are sleeping with at dad's on alternating weekends, which can obviously be a bunch in dozens, but it's not, then that person isn't the custodial parent.
Correct.
So Mr. Calhoun, now the petition was filed on February, and I haven't heard a basis yet that you said as to why you should be determined to be the custodial parent for child support.
Like I don't understand what you're asking me. Are you saying that that I'm asking for child support or custodial? Can you explain the custodial?
Mr. Calhoun, you're here because there's a petition
Yes.
filed by the state, which is asking the court order you to support the children.
Yes, I do support them, and like I said, I do have Monday through Friday, and we do alternate the weekends. But sometimes they sleep they sleep at home at my house. That they're on the lease at maybe 4 to 5 days out of the half of the week, 2 to 3 days, and sometimes they're at her home. She just got her own place. I believe I think maybe 2 months ago, and they weren't really. She didn't have her own place of residency until 2 months
But
ago.
they were with me regardless to where we were
But
staying.
they were
I supported them the whole time. This is what
they were with.
if you supported them how you should have, I wouldn't have filed for child support.
I do support them as I do have. That's not the reason you filed.
Your Honor, we don't have any income information for Mr. Calhoun. Mrs. Calhoun did provide her income information to us. There's no parenting order. There is some state benefits, and they appear to be going to the address where the children are with Mrs. Calhoun. So if they want to get a parenting order and work out a mediation possibly,
My
but right now all of the information that we have indicates that they are residing with Mrs. Calhoun.
2105 Lorraine Avenue, because that's where I live.
How can we get the parenting stuff started?
I don't know if we have a mediator available today.
Okay.
I know they're with the self-represented litigants downstairs right now. It's possible we can call for a mediator. to get a parenting parenting plan done, which is going to be, yeah, probably an important thing in this case. Ms. Calhoun, are you asking for a parenting plan with you and Mr. Calhoun to be put in place?
At this point, we will need it, because with what's going on right now at this very moment, like, we haven't discussed any of this. I'm like totally blindsided with what he's saying right now. So I think we would have to probably get something done.
I live where I say I live, 2105 Lorraine Avenue. As far as I know,
That's not what they're saying.
Mr. Calhoun, are you asking that there be a parenting plan put in place with you and Ms. Calhoun?
as far as like yes, I mean, yes, I guess. I mean, as far as yes, I guess. I mean, I have my kids. I mean, as far as seeing, I'm not understanding, because I see them, I have them.
You don't support them financially.
I do support them. You're not telling the truth.
These are two separate things. The child support is what's before the court, the complaint for support. And the second aspect, which sometimes has to do with and certainly can affect the complaint for support, is the parenting plan. And the parenting plan would be most of the time doing with, not only, but most of it having to do with parenting time. Who has the kids when and where, and the logistics on dropping off the kids and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the question, and there's not somebody with me right now, but there's somebody who's in another courtroom, whether or not you folks wish for there to be a parenting, a mediator to help with the development of a parenting plan. That was my question. Mr. Calhoun, are you interested in that? Because it sounded like Ms. Calhoun was.
Yes, I'll be in. I mean, yes, yes.
Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to, can you call downstairs?
So if you call already, your conference is just waiting for something. So,
Oh, Gerwitz is?
yes. So the clerk in there is set in the chat. You want to concentrate on.
Okay. What's going to happen is the mediator is going to, I know the mediator is doing something right now, but I think he might be getting done soon. So we're hoping he's going to be able to log on, and we're going to be able to get you in to see a mediator. It's going to, in other words, you're not going to leave where you're at. The mediator is going to log on and try to talk to all of you virtually. He's physically within the courthouse, but not within this room. We're going to pass the case for a few minutes.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. As far as the state's purposes go, we would ask that Mr. Calhoun be ordered to provide his income information, his 3 most recent pay stubs, his 2019 tax return to the state's attorney's office within 7 days.
Okay.
And then we can set our petition to set over on July 9th. And then hopefully by then the parenting plan will be in place. But if not, we at least need to run a worksheet and try to get some temporary support going.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is, Mr. Calhoun, you do have to give the income information.
No, I understand that, but I just don't agree with the whole thing of me not supporting them. I have my kids all the time, just had them. I support them with everything. I bought their school supplies, clothes, whatever they need. I get it.
I understand, sir. I'm going to continue the case as already stated, but we are going to keep, these are parallel things, both having to do with you two and your children.
Okay.
Parallel items. One is the complaint for child support. Obviously, that's monetary. The other is the parenting time. I'm going to, please stick around, and we're going to deal with the parenting time once we get the mediator. Thank you.
Okay, I will.
And let's see here, Ms. And Ms. Amen. Ms. Amen,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. No, Ms. Amen.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm here on Rashawn Carr.
And which piece, I'm looking at that now. It's Williams and Carr, 19F 580, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
We set this one over, Your Honor, we set a zero order back in October because Mr. Carr was in the custody of the Lake County Jail. So we've continued it to check the status of his criminal case and, if appropriate, set child support.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Carr has been sentenced to 8 years in the Department of Corrections. He's not working, he's not earning. Your Honor, I would ask the court to maybe stay these proceedings until he's released.
If he's been sentenced to 8 years in the Department of Corrections, we won't be asking for support right now. So we'll leave the zero order as is set.
Okay. It will be the order of the court. It's going to be a zero order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. 96F 899 McMillan versus Thompson. Troy Thompson and Regina McMillan.
One moment. Let me get the file.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor, I didn't see. Justin Blair.
I have the file now.
Okay,
I see Mr. Troy Thompson here. Is Ms. Regina Thompson here? There's Regina. I just grabbed one.
okay. I don't think she is here. I did speak with her, Your Honor. Mr. Thompson filed a motion to terminate child support.
Is this Ms. Regina McMillan? I just want to make sure is this the right person or not?
Yeah, the 96F 899.
Yeah.
It's like I ain't in there.
Ms. McMillan,
She's asking me.
are you here on the
Yes, I'm here.
on the Regina and Troy Thompson case?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I see she's also here.
Okay.
And what is this here? I'm going to rename this so I know who you are. Now, and this is Mr. Troy Thompson's case. He is asking, and I quote, for the case to be dropped.
Yes, Your Honor, this is an arrears only case. There was a judgment entered in 2011. Child support was set at $50 a month on the arrearage that at the time was $15,996. As of today's date, the arrears are $10,386 in principal plus interest. My understanding is that Mr. Thompson has a possible workman's comp settlement. So the state would ask that his motion be continued and we need to get the information of the workman's comp attorney. We'll notify the state, they can put a lien on that. And if the arrearages are paid off from the settlement, we'll go ahead and terminate everything on the next court date.
Did you understand that, Mr. Thompson?
I don't agree with that because my adjuster already got the paperwork from the state for the hold on the workman's comp settlement.
Oh, okay.
I offered Miss McMillan 70% of the income from that lawsuit. So if she want to take it, she could take it. But if not, I will tell the adjuster I will settle for $1.
Mr. Thompson, what is owed is an actual judgment. Because it's a judgment, the court can't drop that case.
But she can.
It's owed, and it's been owed for a while. Obviously, the kids are older. It's a 1996 case. We know that.
No.
So the fact is, it's not current. What's that?
I said, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
Well, it's not a current case, but I can't tell you or her what is agreed upon, what either of you must agree on. The court doesn't do that.
I understand that. But
And also, Your Honor, just so Mr. Thompson understands, some of these arrearages may be owed to the state of Illinois. I don't know. So the state has an interest.
Can she drop it if she wanted to drop it? I'm just asking a question.
She cannot.
No.
Well, I guess we settle for $1. Y'all have a good day.
It's a judgment owed to the state. The motion is denied. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ms. Thompson, you're welcome to leave. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I have some, we're waiting on an interpreter for, which case is that, Galvez? Okay, thank you. 09F760, PQ versus Zuniga. Miguel Zuniga.
Yes.
I don't believe the custodial parent checked in.
Okay, I know Mr. Miguel Zuniga is present. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
And
Good morning.
Your Honor, this is up for status of purge, status of state contempt sentence. Mr. Zuniga was in the Lake County Jail. His attorney came in, did not file an appearance in our case, his criminal attorney. And Mr. Zuniga had a hold in McHenry County. So the attorney wanted him released to go to McHenry County to deal with that case. So the court stayed his sentence upon Mr. Zuniga posting half of the purge at $1,400. That was in March. It's been continued. He needed to pay the other $1,400 and make his current support payment. There have been so many prior rules and contempt sentences in this case. He was released in March. He has not paid a dime. He hasn't paid the rest of the purge, and he has not paid anything towards current support. As of today's date, just the principal alone, the arrearages are $15,893. So unless he's going to pay that other $1,400, the state is going to ask that he serve the remainder of his sentence in jail.
Mr. Zuniga,
Yes.
what is it you wish to say?
Oh, it's just it wasn't McHenry, it was Boone County, and I just got out. I bonded out of Lake County, but I still had to go to Boone County. So I've only been out 2 months. So I haven't been able to find work with what's been going on, but I do plan on paying that other $1,400 within the next couple of months. I'm doing little odd jobs that I can right now. But I'm not employed.
So it sounds like there's some income coming in, but I mean, there hasn't even been anything paid towards current support, let alone the arrearages. I understand he was incarcerated, but it sounds like he's been out for 2 months. So doing side jobs. So there should be some support coming in. This child support order is $56 a week, which is extremely low.
I was understanding I had to make the whole $1,400 payment.
Well, Mr. Zuniga, both things are right. You owe a lot of money, but
Right.
you got to do the simple part, and I am going to call it a simple part, of
Yeah.
paying the minimal $56 a week. So both of these are true. You got to pay the old stuff that's due, which is in the thousands, over 10,000, and the new things that are due, which is the current support of 56 a week. So certainly the least you can do is pay the current.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I was concerned on making that $1,400 payment, but I do have money and I can go make a payment today.
Mr. Zuniga, you've exhausted a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And as I said, Your Honor, there's been multiple contempt findings and jail sentences in this case. So I find it hard to believe he didn't know that he had to pay current too. But if he goes and makes the
I know
payment,
I did. I'm sorry.
I would suggest that he be ordered. What's the payment amount you're going to make today?
I can make $150 today.
I would ask that he be ordered to make that payment today, and we set this over for a short date of July 2nd to make sure that there's money coming in on this.
Okay. You pay that amount.
That's fine.
Do it to July 2nd. You need to do that, and
Okay.
you need to continue to be current. And that's not even, I'm sorry, Mr. Zuniga, I have zero patience for a guy who isn't making $56 a week.
Okay.
That is, and that's the least you can do. Literally the least you can do. July 2nd, you need to pay that amount. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Also, Your Honor, I'm not sure if it was previously ordered, but just to make sure for housekeeping purposes that we enter a turnover order on that $1,400.
Oh, we will do that. That was exactly of the
That's
order.
what I was going to ask you because I talked to her and she said she has not received that.
Yeah, well, there does need to be a separate turnover. Obviously, the clerk has the money that was posted, but the clerk doesn't. The clerk does need a separate order to do something with that money and not just keep it toward your case. It keeps it. You get the credit for it, but it's going toward mom.
Yeah, because she's told me she has not got it, and I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now, before we do the interpreter case, I do need to get the mediator in.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to. Okay, Mr. Gurwitz and Mr. Calhoun, Ms. Calhoun. Okay, Gurwitz, Mr. Calhoun. Where's Ms. Calhoun? There you are. Got it. I am going to do a breakout room with you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm going to try to do a breakout room here. And I'm going to assign Mr. Gurwitz.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm trying to do the breakout room. Am I doing this? I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I've got breakout room and I've got them listed. What, I don't know.
You have to click at the bottom. It should say like assign or go or.
Why does it say open all rooms?
That's what you have to do.
Let's see if I did it. All participants have been invited in the breakout room. I don't think I want to do that. Okay, good. Because I certainly don't want anybody else in the breakout room. That's confusing. Okay. Knock on wood, that worked. Now we also have the interpreter here for Mr. Hernandez.
Okay,
That was-
that is 19F117.
Madam Interpreter.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And she's here for the case
Ella está aquí para el caso.
of.
This is up, I'm sorry.
No, please continue.
This is up on the state's petition
Esta es para la petición del Estado
to register a foreign order
para registrar la orden.
out of the state of California.
Fue un estado fuera para el estado de California, una orden.
It's $564 per month in current support.
Son $564 por mes por manutención.
Plus $634
Más $634
in spousal support.
en el soporte en la manutención para la esposa.
The state would ask leave to register that order.
El Estado quisiera pedir para que se pueda registrar esta orden.
Do you understand that, Mr. Hernandez?
¿Usted entiende eso, señor Fernández?
Sí, está bien.
Yes, it's fine.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Hernandez, you're welcome to go.
Usted, señor Hernández, puede salir ya.
Está bien, gracias.
It's okay, thank you.
Are there any other interpreter cases that we know of?
¿Alguien más necesita intérprete en español? Por favor, levante la mano. Please raise your hand.
We just did that one. Nobody else?
¿Nadie más necesita intérprete en español? Levante la mano. There's someone. Yeah, Mr. Rivera, I guess.
Robert Rivera?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, let me see if I can find his.
I sent a email concerning a letter from my mother that's written in Spanish. If she could, the interpreter, read that. It's part of basically stating that my mother does watch them for myself. And but if she can read that, she can translate that for you, and then we can go on from there. That's it.
Mom, in your case?
¿Su mamá está en el caso?
Oh, he understands English perfectly. He just wants something else.
No, I sent an email.
Who's the mother in your case? I still don't know the case you're here on.
It's I found it, Your Honor. It's 16F1062.
I'm going to run into the case now.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Anina Carpanzano and Robert Rivera. It's up on the state's petition to intervene and petition to determine arrears. Child support was set June 1st of 2017 at $550 a month. As of today's date, the arrearages are $3,638, and the state would ask for $110 per month towards that arrearage, which is 20% of the current support amount.
If I have a moment to speak, I have been sending her cash through an application called Cash App. there's also in my email receipts that I have sent her. I've been up to date so far.
Okay, I'm still on the
You told
Mr. Rivera, do I still need to take a court interpreter for your English?
no, I'm sorry, it's the letter I sent in the email.
I know I don't have it. Do you, Madam? Ms. Stefan?
No, I don't have any letter, Your Honor.
It should be in the email that online thing that they told me to send all my information, cash apps.
Send it in an email, Mr. Rivera?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Send it in an email or in a paper?
No, I sent it in an email when on the website it sorry, you cut off.
No, Mr. Rivera, I'm laser focused on whether or not I'm keeping an interpreter from another courtroom.
No, all I want her to interpret, to translate is the letter.
Madam Interpreter, you're free to leave.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Rivera, I've got nothing against all the stuff you said, but again, I'm still focused on, I can't keep an interpreter to sit around and listen to our English.
I'm sorry.
So I know you emailed something, but I also know I can't read an email. And I also know I'm looking at a file that doesn't have an email in it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You might have sent it and all that stuff. Okay. You haven't done anything wrong. I just want to know, because I'm not looking at anything from you, and I'm not looking at anything that's been sent, and every single thing in my file here is English. So,
well then, okay.
Now you said something about, and you said something that very well might be relevant, and that is that some of your child support is based upon mom having the kids, and you're saying, heck, mom doesn't have the kids as much as is said in this complaint. Is that essentially it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is it you wish to say regarding that, sir?
Right now I'm at 50% of child support. I would like that to be decreased due to my more time that I have with them, supplies, everything that I basically got for them. In my email, there's a letter towards my mother that she's my full-time babysitter. So usually what happens is that Nina will drop off the kids and they will stay here between 3-4 days at a time. We have a contract. Our contract says every other weekend, but it's been a lot more time than that. Even throughout these years, there's been a lot more that I've contributed to what our current contract says. I want to hopefully have a decrease in that. I have been making payments through Cash App. I have all the receipts to that, and yeah, pretty much. And I also do want, I mean, this is probably for the mediator and for us to make a new contract, but I would like a new contract. The one we have right now is very outdated. Several things. She no longer lives in the residence of.
I live in Kane County now. That was when I used to live in Lake County. Some stuff has changed. Go on. Go ahead.
And I would move for a new contract that's more suitable for our two situations right now instead of our old contract that we have going. But yeah, pretty much that's it.
Okay. Now, it looks like the allegation, and I don't mean to minimize this, but boy, I've been looking at a lot worse arrearages than this. It looks like the allegation as of April was $1,237.
Yes.
What was filed in April as of January 31, which is $1,056 in child support and $180 in interest.
That's correct, Your Honor. We don't show a payment coming in since since February 15th, which is why the arrearage is much larger than it was alleged in the petition. It sounds like there may be some direct payments. The state is just coming in to intervene on this. So it's possible that there were some direct payments made since we did the numbers, which we would be happy to to take a look at the proof on that, or Mrs. Carpezano can verify that. But the only issue pending,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only issue pending before the court is the intervention and to determine the arrears today.
I've been getting payments through Cash App from him, but when I called child support, they said that they would only take one as a payment and the rest of them they won't take. Like they will not take those. And that's why it's up to $3,000 because they need either a check or they need it paid through them. They told me that they need it paid through them.
Now, this is the first time that the state is intervening in this case. So now that is correct. Mr. Rivera, you cannot make any more payments through that Cash App. You have to go through the state disbursement unit so that there's a record of it. And the instructions will be in the order that we send to you on how to do that. So you're saying then there are not any arrearages.
Well, he is behind from the order was signed in June. He didn't start paying he didn't start paying until September. That was in 2017.
So you're saying it's basically June, July, August, and September. So 4 months of.
He gave me $400 during that whole time, and I sent all of that to child support back in February or whenever it was when I filed.
Okay, so then you're saying the arrears are, as of today's date, $2,196, which is the 4 months minus the 400.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and credit him the money that's been paid through the Cash App, Your Honor, because he didn't know, since we didn't intervene till today, that he's not supposed to be doing that. However, we will not credit anything further paid from today on.
So how is he supposed to pay?
Through the state disbursement unit, and we will send that information to you. You're gonna get a copy of this court order, and it'll have that information on how to make your payments. That way there's a record of everything that's paid. It protects both of you so that we can see when we pull it up whether or not payments are coming in.
Through my current job, the child support is already being taken out.
They took it out, but they didn't put it in my account yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. We don't know.
Okay, you'll have to talk to them, to the HFS. We don't handle any of those. We don't do the withhold orders or collect any money. So you can certainly talk to the Department of Healthcare and Family Services. It's possible maybe they don't have an updated address for Mr. Rivera and they don't know where to send it. I don't know. Or I'm sorry that they don't have I'm sorry, they don't have an updated address for you, Ms. Carpenzano. If you moved, they may not have anywhere to send it. So you might want to follow up with them.
It's via it's direct deposit. I just called them last week. They said, I don't know what's going on. They said the employer took it, but they didn't disperse it to child support so that child support can give it to me. If that makes sense, because he showed me paycheck stubs where it says child support deductions. He showed me 2 of them, but I didn't get anything.
Okay, so Mr. Rivera, you might want to follow up with your employer. Like I said, we will send the instructions, and you can give the instructions to your employer as to where to send it. But if they have a withhold order, they should know what to do.
Okay.
I have a question. It's regarding insurance that had to do with the court order. He doesn't have them on the insurance. And when I called child support, they said I'm gonna have to bring it up in court, that he wanted me to apply for the state insurance, which with all the pandemic and stuff, I haven't gotten anything back yet. And that he would have to pay per kid. That's on the agreement that we have. They have not been on child support. They have not been on his medical. The order was signed in 2017. He didn't put them on until a year later. He only had them on for about 1.5 years. I had to pay for my son's glasses out of pocket. I have all of those expenses, and I have medical bills. He took my son to the emergency room in March. I have the bill right here.
Okay, ma'am. That is something that you would have to file a motion for regarding those expenses. The state isn't able to file petitions regarding that. You would have to file your own motion. regarding unreimbursed medical expenses. But as far as today's purposes go, the state's just asking to enter the $550 per month order, an additional payment towards the arrearages, and ask that we be given leave to intervene in this case. And
Okay.
then if the state wants us to enforce the insurance order, because he is ordered to provide the insurance, they will send a petition for rule of show cause over based on the insurance violation.
So-
Which goes back to my statement that we do need a new contract. Obviously, you know, this thing's old. I suggested a couple months back that we update this. I even gave her a notice that the job that I was leaving, the insurance will cut off. And my current situation, I cannot afford to, I don't even have insurance for myself. That's why I said, let's go through the state, because as of right now, I'm on other child support, and it's about $300 per person, which I cannot.
Up to me
Well,
to
right now, none of those issues are pending. So if either of you want something changed, you need to file a motion asking the court to change it. Okay, so all the orders remain in effect until somebody files a motion asking the judge to change it. So if you can't provide insurance anymore, Mr. Rivera, then you need to file a motion regarding that. Or if you
Okay.
want a different parenting plan or whatever, you have to file a motion in the court.
Can we also have,
Filed a
I'm
motion.
suggesting that we have a new contract stating everything that we just talked about to update that contract. Is that something that the mediator could present and so on and so forth? No, ma'am. hear me?
Well, the judge would have to
Sign off.
put you guys in mediation if you both agreed to it.
And what if we don't agree to it?
Then whoever wants it needs to file a motion.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Whoever wants what? Sorry, it's cutting off. a little.
Whoever wants the new contract needs to file up, which you don't and I do. So
Well, we can do a new contract, but
now you want to do no contract.
Folks, I tell you what, if you argue elsewhere, there's obviously some agreement on stuff and some disagreement on stuff. To have a mediator, you have to agree to listen to each other. That we know. And I'm not sure you've agreed to listen to each other. I know you each have your sides. And like I said, I think you've got some common ground. I know you've got some disagreements too. You haven't agreed yet to have a mediator, so I really can't do that. But I do know that if, as the prosecutor just said correctly, everything is the same until it's changed. And the court won't change something except with a motion as to what should be changed and why. And the person who makes a motion, of course, has the burden of proof to show why something should be changed. The court supports current orders. The petition to intervene is granted. The $550 per month remains the same, of course, until it's changed. And there's no basis before the court or motion before the court to change that. So petition to intervene is granted.
And then, Your Honor, the state's asking for a payment on the arrearages as well.
It's correct. And you do need to make a payment on the arrearages, Mr. Rivera. I can't help but notice that I heard something in the case. You have another child support order. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir. About two others.
From elsewhere.
I'm sorry.
It's possible that order from elsewhere is what's reflected in your paycheck and not this current one. I don't know. But I do know that that might be some of the confusion in here. Needless to say, something paid on a separate order, you do get credit for on this, but it has to be something that is being paid. So you're right. There are some facts here. There are some facts that the court will listen to, but I'm not going to listen to it ad hoc nor have both of you argue here and argue there and all that stuff. Okay, it has to be done methodically. So petition to intervene is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And are you setting the $110 per month on the arrearages? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more question?
Oh, what's that?
I haven't gotten child support. I know that they took it out, but during this time, is he still supposed to pay until they release it to me?
Nothing.
I would be.
Of course, the $550 a month should have been paid. The $550 a month in order to be paid 2017, and remains ordered to be paid now.
Okay,
Nothing's changed.
okay,
You're welcome to click leave meeting.
thank you.
Thank you.
20F12, Adriana O'Connor and Victor Herrera. I believe just Miss O'Connor is here, Your Honor. It's up on a complaint for support. We had issued a first alias summons, which was not served. So the state is asking leave to issue a second alias summons and continue it to September 3rd at 9 o'clock for status of service of that summons.
We'll do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I do have a question. He was actually, I did serve him a motion because in the previous times they had told me that they were not able to find him at the address that I provided. That motion was served by Waukegan PD. He is in the current address. So is there something that it can be done sooner than September? Because he is living in the current address that
What's the address that you have for him, ma'am?
Give me one moment and I can tell you.
Or you know what, you can call our office with that address. And then, but we can't set a sooner court date because we have to give the sheriff's department so much time to serve that. So that's the standard date that they have requested, a certain amount of weeks to serve the petitions, and they're backed up right now because of the virus. So we do need to keep it on September 3rd. If you want to contact our office, you can certainly do that and provide any additional information that you have. We'd be happy to take that.
That was actually provided the following day where I served them the motion with Waukegan PD, and I did also as well gave them the date of the court that was supposed to be done by April.
Okay, why don't you call our office so that someone can speak with you and we can verify that we have the correct address, because I'm not showing that in my file. But it's possible that it was provided to the state and it just hasn't made it to us yet. So give our office a call and we can take that information from you, okay?
That will be the child support here in the clerk, correct?
I can give you the number.
Yes, please. Bear with me one moment.
847-377-3131.
377-3131.
Yes.
Perfect. Then I will give them a call as soon as I end up this call.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
20F13 Guzman versus Hilora Steele.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
This is up for on the state's complaint for support. Both parties did provide to us income information, and I did run a worksheet based on the information that was provided to us. I did contact Mr. Deal to see if he would agree to the support amount based on the calculations that I ran, and Mr. Deal informed me that he lost his job because he had to move, and he's not collecting any unemployment, and right now he has no income. Based on the previous employment, the child support came out to $529 a month.
Mr. Deal, what is it you wanted to tell the court?
That I'm looking for a new job. That's about it.
Where were you working before?
I was working at Uline in Kenosha, Pleasant Prairie.
What happened to that job?
I had to leave due to I had lost transportation in my apartment, so I had to move.
What do you mean by lost transportation?
I had no license and I lost my car. So I'm working on, I had to pay some tickets, which I took care of, and should be able to get my license back pretty soon. Gotta pay a restatement fee.
When do you think you're getting your license back?
My lawyer said it should be within the next week or so.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't move to McHenry because they lost a license. That's more rural than where you were before.
Yeah, no, I moved because it was the only place I could live for the time, but I couldn't afford to pay my apartment. I was falling behind, even working.
Ms. Steffen?
The state would ask how he's supporting himself, you know, paying his rent and all of that. where
I'm
that-
not. I'm living with my mother currently in a senior citizen community.
You're a little young for that.
Yeah, I know. So
Your Honor, if you wanted me to pass the case, I can run a minimum wage worksheet on this, imputing minimum wage to Mr. Deal. The state's position is usually, however, that if the unemployment is voluntary, then we would ask to go by the old numbers. I don't know that this is necessarily voluntary, but it sounds like he didn't take care of his tickets and lost his job because he lost his license. So, you know, the guideline support based on his previous job came out to $529. So if the court wants to set it at that, or if you would like to pass it and I can run a minimum wage worksheet.
Okay, we'll do that. Thanks.
Pass it? Okay, thank you.
thank you.
We'll do that quickly. Would you mind? Thank you. Okay. Minimum wage for McHenry County. Thank you. The next case is 18F722 Bazite versus Diaz. Christopher Diaz, Egil Bazite.
Present.
Is Mr. Diaz here?
I did not see him on the list.
Oh, and I'm going to right now just ask, I see somebody who's on a phone number of 909-2559.
Yes.
And what is your name, please?
Hello?
What is your name, 909-2559?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Victor Nix.
I'm just going to rename you because otherwise we cannot get anything done if I don't know who you are. Thanks. We are in the middle of the case though. Thanks.
Thank you.
And also, there's somebody who's here, 224-303-5337. Can you please tell me your name?
Donald Thompson.
Oh,
I think we did that case. Oh, no, we didn't. I'm sorry. We did not. I have that one next.
Sir, I'm just gonna hold on a few minutes. I'm just renaming your case so that we know who all's here. Thanks. We're now in the middle, or beginning, excuse me, Ms. Bazite's case, and I don't see a Christopher Diaz present. So, Ms. Steffen, what are we doing with this case today?
This case is up for hearing on the rule to show cause for failure to pay. He was personally served with the rule to show cause. I do show that he is, as of, it looks like March, he has been making child support payments. There was it looks like the stimulus check intercept also in May. She may not have gotten that yet because they hold it for 30 days. So the arrears are currently $4,009 in principal. The state would suggest, since there's money coming in, that we set it over to August. I would ask the court to enter the order because he was served. He does need to appear in August, whether it be via Zoom, depending on where we're at, or the court could issue a body attachment for him because we do need him to appear unless these arrears are paid off.
Okay, I will make that order. The court will note that just before we closed, Mr. Diaz asked to be heard in mid-April on a parenting plan. So I know
He
that,
hasn't showed up for the court date that was 2 days ago for the parenting plan as well.
okay, I appreciate that. And you know, you just mentioned that, and now I'm looking at a separate order from a separate judge regarding that it was stricken. Thank you. Okay. Then, that's
How
right.
about August 20th?
Okay, August 20th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
09F403, Nicole Karanikolas and Donald Thompson.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is up on Mr. Thompson's motion to modify child support based on the emancipation of the oldest child. There are 2 younger children, so the state would ask that both parties be ordered to provide their income information to us, 3 most recent paycheck stubs and 2019 tax returns to our office within 7 days so that we can determine what the appropriate child support amount would be.
Okay, any
Sounds
questions?
good.
Nicholas?
Nope, sounds good. My son did turn 18, so I'm good with that. And I did want to ask in regards to a modification, so she just addressed that.
And do you have any questions, Mr. Thompson?
No, sir. So just to make sure that I'm understanding everything right, get my financials in within 7 days.
Yes,
correct.
Okay.
And real quick, I wanted to ask, he was ordered before to provide medical insurance, and I've been providing. Will that be addressed when we kind of look at the income and things like that also?
Yes, just submit to us what you pay for insurance and how many people. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Do we want to do July 9th, Your Honor?
Okay, July 9th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Karen Nicholas. Thank you, Mr.
You guys have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Also, Your Honor, I also have another case that's scheduled for 1:30. Do you want me to come back at 1:30, or is it okay if we address that case now?
My only question, I'm happy to address it, but is there somebody else who's intending to come on in, albeit at 1:30?
Okay, I understand. I'm not for sure.
That's my only question is, I'm happy to address any case that everybody's here on at 9 o'clock, but I can't make, do something when somebody for good reason isn't on yet.
Okay, yeah. The reason why I was asking because I put in the motion to vacate because the child is well over 18, and I was trying to get that order of support canceled.
You mean like what we just did?
Correct.
Different kid or same kid?
It's probably
different kid.
It's probably a different custodial parent too. If you want, I can go look and see if I can pull the file out of Ms. Salzwedel's office and see if we have any notes in there as to whether or not mom is coming in. I can do that quickly if you'd like.
Yes, please.
No, I'm happy to take care of anything now, but I just don't want to hurt somebody who's intending to come in at 1:30.
Right.
No, I totally understand. Would you like the case number?
Well, let me make sure that the judge wants me to do that. Would you like me to do that, Your Honor, or do you want to wait till 1:30?
Is that Gatlin and Thompson?
Yes.
So that's 00F158.
Yes, sir.
Looking at anybody named Gatlin.
Can you? It's on the 1:30. Would you mind
What is
grabbing
it?
it? 00F158. Ms. Salzwedel may have notes in there. She may have talked to the custodial parent and maybe she's not coming in. So we're going to pull the file and just take a look quickly just to see if it's something we can do.
That's fine. I tell you what, Ms. Karen Nicholas, you're certainly not obligated to stick around. But
Okay.
But
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a great day. I appreciate it.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We're just going to pass the 00F case involving Ms. Gatlin for a few minutes, and let's see if we can take care of it today.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Okay, Your Honor, actually, we have the file, and Ms. Salzweedl spoke to Ms. Gatlin, and Ms. Gatlin will not agree and wants a Zoom hearing, so she will be present at 1:30. So we will need to wait till 1:30 to do this case.
Okay. So we'll see you in about 3 hours, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
20F146, Cronover versus Hancock. Miss Cronover is here. She's actually represented by an agency, so we really aren't supposed to have any contact with her, but it is up on the state's petition to register a foreign order out of the state of North Carolina. I don't believe Mr. Hancock is here. We did mail notice to him. It was not returned. There is a $500 per month order plus $50 per month on the arrearages. It looks like the other state is requesting a petition for downward modification. So we have to wait 30 days before we can file that. So all we're doing right now is just asking leave to register this order, and then we'll bring it back when the appropriate amount of time has passed for us to file the petition.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mom appeared on, sorry. Okay, and we can recall, Your Honor, the 20F13 case, Guzman versus Halores Deal. That was the one we passed to run a worksheet based on a minimum wage order.
Okay.
And based on the imputing of minimum wage income, the child support order would be $271 per month. And the state would also ask that he be ordered to contact us within 48 hours of obtaining employment.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
I am going to make the minimum wage order, and you do need to contact them within 2 days of a new job.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Gurowitz is here. Ms. Calhoun is here. I don't have Mr. Calhoun just yet.
Judge,
yes.
I have prepared a parenting plan. I think Alexandra's gonna come and get it. I am gonna leave if that's okay, because they really want me in 107.
Okay, is it correct, Ms. Calhoun, we have a parenting plan? Is that right, ma'am?
Yes.
Correct, Mr. Calhoun, we've got a parenting plan, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gurowitz, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
We'll pass that case. Mr. Gurowitz is running to another mediation, and we'll get that in a few minutes. Thank you.
I have 03D1762, Michelle Wagner and Victor Nix.
Oh, Mr. Nix.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Your Honor, we never received a motion from Mr. Nix. It says on CRIMS a presentment of a contested motion. We haven't received anything. I'm assuming that it is a petition to terminate child support. I did talk with Miss Wagner, and she confirmed that the children are all emancipated. There is no arrearages, so we would go ahead and terminate child support for the children due to the emancipation as of May 31st of 2020. There's no arrearages, so we'll go ahead and withdraw all of the support orders and withhold orders. If there's anything else pending, we didn't get notice, so I'm not, if there's anything else in the motion, we never received it. But as far as if it's a termination, we have no objection to that.
Okay, and I do have, the court has a motion, maybe you didn't get it, and it says, just like you anticipated, it was the motion to terminate done on the standard form, which is helpful for all of us. The youngest child is now 18, graduated from high school, support current, no arrearage. So yeah, that's exactly the motion that I have. So the court
Correct.
grant that motion, and I know Mr. Nix wants us to grant that motion too.
Yes,
Thank
please.
You,
Thank you. You're welcome to
Just-
call now, sir. Thank you.
Just a quick question.
What's that?
Since the termination date, I've had 3 deductions. Neither party has received. Where does that money go?
You can contact the state disbursement unit. If your employer withheld it and sent it in past the date of the order, there should be a termination date on the order, which should have been May 31st.
Right.
You can contact the Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services and find out. Typically what will happen is they'll hold it and they'll send it back to you. If she hasn't received it yet, that's probably what will happen, but you can certainly follow up with them just to make sure. But we will get this order entered today and send it over to the state right away.
Okay. Was a copy of this order already sent to my employer?
No, because it's just being entered today, but you'll get a copy of it. You can give it to your employer right away.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And also I had online, it said that I had a $90 credit. Does that get returned as well? Or?
I mean, typically they don't unless you take the state of Illinois to small claims court. So we're going to stop the order today. That's why I anticipated what the motion was. Typically we continue the case to get a copy of the motion because we're entitled to notice, but I saw you had no arrearages. So when I got the order entered right away, so they would stop withholding. So we'll send you a copy of the order. You can give that to your employer right away. So they should not take out anymore. In the meantime, you can contact the state of Illinois and find out where those payments are because the order did terminate per court order as of May 31st.
Right. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know Ms. Guzman has a question.
Yes, thank you. Well, the first one is, am I free to go?
Yes.
Okay, and then I did have one more question. I know that he used to contact you within 48 hours of receiving employment. Is that when the child support would start, or would it start from when we separated?
The new support now, minimum wage starts now.
Okay, would I be receiving anything from before?
Was this Mr. Flores' deal? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
It is, Your Honor, and I believe he already left the.
He has. The new order starts now, and he has to give us he has to give us notice of a new job within 48 hours.
Okay, but then there's nothing from this last year or anything when I was just taking care of her by myself.
The order in effect before today was in effect before today. I understand there may be an arrearage. The court will deal with that. That's not in front of me right now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just don't understand how this works.
As you know, there's only so much that we can talk about. When he's already left and we can't talk about it, I'm just repeating what's already been said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
18F3 Shaw versus White. Sierra Shaw, Jeremy White.
Hi, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Your Honor, this is up for continued hearing on the rule to show cause. And it does not appear that he is signed in. Jeremy White. Oh, he is. I'm sorry. I think he needs to unmute himself.
How you doing?
Okay.
How you doing? You hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is up for continued hearing on the rule to show cause. And he has a large arrearage of $7,902. However, he has made payments in March, April, and he did pay the $356 in May. So he is making payments pursuant to the court order. So the state would suggest setting this over to September 3rd to make sure that the payments continue to come in as ordered. And if that's the case, then maybe at that time we can set an additional payment towards the arrears, and that'll be the last court date.
Okay.
When you say arrears, is that like back child support or what is that?
Most
Yes,
definitely.
that's the
back
back child
support. Yes.
Okay. And Your Honor, I have a question. I know we have a visitation order, but who do I speak to? Like, is it mandatory for the children to go since we have an order, or how does that work?
Yes, the parties are expected to follow the agreed parenting plan.
Yes, because I only get them every other week.
I know this is an agreed parenting plan entered in March, and I expect both of you to follow it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, Your Honor, I was trying to file a motion for, what is that, the passports? How do I get that started?
You're welcome to file any motion you want. The court expects the parties to comply with court order.
Yes, I'm very much not going to comply.
Oh, you're going to comply with the court order.
Okay.
That you need to do. Okay.
Okay.
Now with the passport, sir.
That's a different, sir. That's a motion I haven't heard yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right, I haven't did it yet.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Motion.
I appreciate that.
I don't know. I haven't begun questioning any.
Right.
Okay. So we're done with the case for today. Thank you.
All right. You have a blessed day.
19F 947, Destiny Ramirez Perez and Eduardo Cervantes.
Hi.
Hi. Your Honor, this is up for status of service on our alias summons. We have no new address for him. We weren't able to find one. We weren't able to serve him previously, so we were not able to issue the alias summons. So the state is asking to go ahead and DWP the case for now, and if we can find a new address for him, we'll do a petition to reinstate. But we have no new address for him and nowhere to issue any additional alias summonses.
I'm sorry, but what does DWP stand for? Like,
It
what
means
does that?
it's dismissed without prejudice, and if we can find him, we can bring the case back and serve him. But he has to be properly served with the paperwork before we can go forward with the case, and we don't know where he is. He was not served at the address that was provided to us, and we tried to find an additional address for him, as did the state, and we were not able to.
Have you guys got in contact with his parole officer? He is currently on house arrest.
He's on parole in the state of Illinois?
Yes, his parole officer's name is Christina or Kristen. I have her number and I provided that to you guys last time in court.
Yes, I have that information, and we did try and weren't able to find her. Is it a parole officer? You said it was a probation officer. Is it a DOC parole officer?
It's probably a probation officer. I have her number and I got in contact with her when I left court that day back in March.
Okay, why don't we do this, Your Honor? Why don't you call our office after we're done here and provide us her phone number and information, and then we'll go ahead and ask leave to issue one more alias summons, and then if we can't find him after this, we'll DWP, but we'll try one more time.
We will.
Okay, let me get a pen so I can write down your number.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. Thank you. Mr. Calhoun, looks like we've got a plan here.
Yes.
So, and I know that's what, Ms. Calhoun, is this what you wish to do?
Yes.
And Mr. Calhoun, is this what you wish to do? Mr. Calhoun, can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Yes.
And is this what you wish to do also?
Yes.
Then I am going to go along with that, and I'm just going to put down on the signature line that verified by Zoom.
Michelle Manzini, 20F90.
Thank you. You'll get a copy of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have it. 20F90.
We're free to go.
Yes, ma'am, you both are. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're looking, Your Honor, we see 20F190 is in there. We're looking to see that if we can find that file. I don't have that in here.
Okay. Good morning, Ms.
Good morning.
Manzini. I can tell you're here. I know you've been here all along. I know the prosecution just said they can't confirm that Mr. Black Button has received a copy of the petition. Actually, I've got.
He
I've got.
was here, but he left. I don't know where he went.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the car. I don't.
You're absolutely right, JB.
Yeah.
And then hold on a sec. I remember that now. Absolutely. And not only that, but we do have confirmation of service in McHenry. Boy, it was a good day, March 17th. Substitute service. Yeah. So what is it you're asking to do today, Ms. Steffen?
So we can get a phone number for her.
This is on 20F190, Michelle Lanzini.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was just told that he is going to come back next week for DNA testing. We need mom's phone number so that somebody can get in contact with her regarding the DNA testing.
She's actually going to call our office and talk to him, so I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just need a phone number where we can reach you, ma'am, regarding the DNA testing.
It's 847-804-1517.
Does she need to do this again next week?
We will contact her regarding what we need her to do, but he's going to have DNA testing. So we are going to need to get her DNA as well.
Also tell them that your income has changed.
As of Monday night, my income has changed because I was laid off of my job Monday night. So the 3 most recent pay stubs that I had emailed to, I believe it was Judy, the child support email address that I sent all the information to, that was changed as of Monday now.
Okay, well, Judy's going to call you and talk to you about coming in for the DNA testing. At that time, if you're on unemployment, you can bring us that information. Otherwise, just let her know and regarding your change in income. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And then, like I said, Judy will be contacting you to set up the DNA testing.
So do I need another court date?
You'll come in next week for the DNA testing. She's going to call you and explain how to do that. And then a court date will be set to set support and return of the DNA test results.
Okay. And then if it comes posit that he is the father, then what do we do from there?
Then we'll set support.
Okay.
Okay, but we have to have the DNA testing first. He's entitled to that.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome.
You're welcome to end the meeting. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I don't show anybody else waiting.
Who is Destiny Ramirez Perez, or we done her case?
I'm not sure why she's waiting.
Okay, 19F9.
Okay. Ms. Ramirez Perez, do you have any questions left?
No, not really. So what I'm understanding is if you guys can't find him one more time, then case is being dropped until you guys do find him.
There's no question we can't formalize anything until he has notice.
Right.
Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I have some cases that we did not have agreed orders on that did not show up. So let me see. 19F735 Davis versus Bradford.
Hold on a sec. I know the clerk doesn't have a Davis in Bradford. Oh, I do in the middle. I'm sorry, toward the top, about 8 down, 17F908. Okay, and what? Like,
So this is Mr. Bradford was found in contempt back in February and sentenced to the Lake County Jail with a $1,200 purge. This is one of those cases where when the coronavirus hit, we went and we stayed the remainder of his sentence in March, and he was released. He has not made any payments at all, no current support payments. He hasn't paid the purge, and he's not here. So, I mean, I know we're supposed to, you know, consider the cases we issue body attachments on, but he hasn't paid. He's got a jail sentence. We let him out of jail once. I would like a body attachment and the stay lifted on the remainder of his sentence. I don't know what else to do with this. I mean, he hasn't made any payments and he hasn't shown up. And he's already got a sentence that he hasn't served.
The court is going to take the motion and continue the motion. I'm going to continue hearing on the motion.
Okay.
Couple of months, August 13th, 9 o'clock for continued hearing on the motion.
So hearing on the motion for a body attachment. Okay. Thank you. Okay, 18F751 DCFS versus Aiden Chacon. Excuse me. This is up to reset child support. Mr. Chacon is a seasonal worker, so we had reduced the support from $389 per month down to $173 per month for the winter months. It was set over to reset it back at the $389 per month. We don't know whether or not he's working. I don't know. We can. I'm looking to see if we have the income information as to where he was previously working. We can send a wage verification. Otherwise, I guess we can set it over one time and order that if he does not appear, the child support will automatically go back to the $389 per month as previously set. Or I hate to reset it because we don't know if he's working, and I don't know, without giving him one more chance to appear. We did send him the letters and everything. Nothing was returned.
What date are you looking at?
How about I don't want to go too far because then the season will be over for this summer. These calls are so big. How about July 23rd?
Other than that, Thursday.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Why don't we do the 30th?
Okay, July 30th, 9 o'clock.
And I'll put in the order that he needs to appear, or child support will automatically be reset.
Please.
Thank you. (19F 734) Dillon versus Haynes. This is up on his motion to reduce child support. He had previously filed one in January. It was denied, and then he refiled it. He's not here. The state would just ask to strike.
Motion to strike is granted.
(20F 14) Mendoza versus Bolin. We had previously filed a motion for default. On the default day, he appeared and asked for time to hire an attorney. This was back in March. So we continued it for him to come in with his attorney. He is not here. We did previously run a worksheet on this for the two children. The amount should be $429 per month, and the state would ask that to set it at the $429 per month, retroactive to the date of service, which is January 14th.
Okay. The court will make that order. Thanks.
Thank you. Do me a favor and calculate the retro on this. It's 6 months of retro, January 14th. Thank you. 20F36 Perez versus Gonzalez. This is also a motion for default. We had substitute service on the respondent's cousin/roommate on January 21st. We imputed minimum wage income to him and are asking for a default order in the amount of $279 per month, retro to the date of service.
Default judgment shall enter retroactive to date of service.
Okay. 20F39 Patrick versus Bell. This is also a default order, and there was a substitute service on the respondent's mother on January 29th. This is also a minimum wage order. We imputed minimum wage to him. The state would ask to set that amount retro to the date of service of January 29th, $281 per month.
Okay, will be set retroactive to date of service.
Thank you. 20F42 DCFS versus Blanchard. This is also a default motion. with minimum wage imputed. There was substitute service on the respondent's uncle/roommate on January 21st. The state would ask to set the $281 per month retro to the date of service.
It will be set retroactive date of service.
Thank you. And 20F158, Tellez versus Yarborough. That is a complaint for support. There was personal service on February 24th of 2020. The state would ask leave to file a motion for entry of a default order.
Default shall, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. And every other case has an agreed order on it. So I don't have anything left that I show that needs to be called.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See everybody at 1:30 then.
Sounds good.